The war ended 15 years before my birth, and yet throughout my youth, Nazis were the personification of enemy. The Cold War may have raged, but films, cartoons and history lessons focused on the vanquished German dictatorship. The victory was ours, we were told, and the victory was over evil. Small wonder then that the Nazi leaders were to haunt us. We tried to make out their evil in their black and white photographs, and at the trials they were found guilty of bestial enormities. And yet, Maxwell Fyfe wrote, I believe that if anyone had suggested to 3/4 of the defendants in 1933 that they should do the things that they did without a tremor of conscience in 1943, they would have refused with genuine indignation. They were men whose abuse of power and the consequent corruption had eroded their nature. This erosion was born from a perversion of many aspects of contemporary European life, shared across the continent.
After nearly 3 months of sifting and exploring the evidence, the prosecutors were preparing to cross-examine, but not before Maxwell Fyfe received a visit from Sylvia.
I had a serious word with Singh about your coming visit. I think that the best way is for me to ask Lawrence to invite you, and then get it confirmed by the Americans. There will be no difficulty, I'm sure. It would be wonderful to see you here, and laying on visits to the Blue Danube, and even the somewhat grey Grand Hotel.
You have been clever and persevering about my visit. The chief pleasure is that you must really want me to come out, as much as I want to come.
We shall have a grand time. Pointing out the sights will be fun enough, and we shall try and arrange some less formal parties, which will, I hope, not be unamusing.
The Grand Hotel at Nuremberg is one giant bustle. Day and night, dozens of cars are parked before the entrance in the bitter cold. Among them, the most elegant and expensive saloon cars of English and American design, adorned with 1, 2, and even 3 stars, indicating that they belong to generals. The hotel is overflowing. Persons below the rank of colonel have hardly a chance to find accommodation. Even Russian and French generals have to be content with simple little rooms. Enormous quantities of whiskey and vodka are drunk in the bars. There is dancing every evening. Everything is in full swing. All the world seems to have arranged a rendezvous at Nuremberg.
Darling, this is from the plane, just to say I am thinking of you and all we have done. I can now picture your life and surroundings, which make them seem less remote, and we are on the last lap. I hope and pray it will not be too arduous for you, but I am now completely satisfied that you are making history in a real way.
We have jumped into the preparation of the cross-examination with a bang. I have been reading transcripts and preparing notes every night. It is rather a good thing, because it makes the change from your presence to absence easier when there is work.
Now God be thanked, who has matched us with his hour and caught our youth, and wakened us from sleeping. Now God be thanked.
We started the pruning of the defendants, witnesses and documents. Saturday, in open court, the other delegations have strangely enough left this detailed task to me, and I spent the day until 4 o'clock bobbing up and down, arguing with the German council. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Now God be thanked, who has matched us with his hour and caught our youth, and wakened us from sleeping. Now God be thanked. a world grown old and cold and weary, leave the sick hearts that honour could not move, and half men and their dirty songs and dreary, to turn as swimmers into cleanness leaping. Now God be thanked, who has matched us with his hour and wakened us from sleeping, to turn as swimmers into cleanness leaping.
I had my first bit of cross-examination today. Goering's witness, Field Marshal Kesselring. Everyone was frightfully nice about it. In my own view, after being unnecessarily het up about it, afraid I should not come off, I did rather knock hell out of the conceited German marshal.
Now God be thanked, who has matched us to his hour and made sure, clear eye and sharpened power. As swimmers into cleanness leaping, swimmers into clean, who have known shame, we have found release there. As swimmers into cleanness, as swimmers into cleanness, as swimmers into cleanness, now God be thanked.
Now, the escape about which I'm asking you took place on the night of the 24th to the 25th of March. I want you to have that date in mind. The decision to murder these young officers must have been taken very quickly, because the first murder was actually took place on the 26th of March. You agree with that? It must have been taken quickly. A Großfahndung, a general hue and cry, I think would be the English translation, was also issued at once in order that these men should be arrested. Isn't that so?
Das ist richtig. Bei jedem Ausbruch, wo eine solch große Anzahl Gefangener ausgebrochen ist, trat automatisch im ganzen Reich die Großfahndung ein. Das heißt, alle Dienststellen mussten aufpassen, die Gefangenen wieder einzubringen.
I think that my cross-examination of Goering went all right. Everyone was very pleased. Jackson had not only made no impression, but actually built the fat boy up further.
Darling, it is a glorious day with bright sun and flowers coming out in the parks, so perhaps this long, long winter is going to end some time. Also, the Times and the Telegraph, and doubtless all the papers, say that your cross-examination went beautifully. In a few skillful questions, the Times says. I fear Mr. J.J. felt a little out of it. I am surrounded by beautiful newspapers, full of quite hysterical praise for you. Last night, we heard you on the air in the news, and this morning I took Pam with me to the BBC, where they had worked out a most interesting programme of your cross-examination of Goering. Your voice and whole personality came right into the room.